Hello, and welcome to today's Total Fitness Podcast. I'm Walter Young. I'm here to go a little solo today to talk about mindset in the gym and out of the gym. You know, we all have dreams. We all have things that we obsess about, things we want to achieve in our lives, what we want to be. I'm talking about all areas of our lives because I think the gym is no different from any other aspect of our lives. As we move forward, we always are thinking about where we want to be, what we want to achieve, that sort of thing. I want to get skinny, I want to get big, I want toned arms, whatever that means. And the problem is that given those wishes, there's no way I can help them. I can't. You know, no more than saying I want to get rich can be delivered. Those are all too vague in terms of what things are wanted. So you need some kind of clarity. So the question becomes, how skinny, how big, how toned, and even how rich? Does that make sense? So what we want to do is start looking towards what it is that we really want to achieve, not just what it is that, you know, there's a word that, you know, I want to get big. I want big. Do I want to be a bodybuilder? Do I want to be a powerlifter? Do I want to be a sumo wrestler? Because they all are sort of big, but what is it you want to look like? What is it you want to achieve? We all have an idea of what we want out of life. I want a happy relationship doesn't work as well as I want to know what kind of relationship, what defines happiness to you? What is a happy relationship? What sort of person are you with in that happy relationship? And what is it you're going to do to change yourself to attract that kind of person or to have that kind of person? How will that affect your growth, your change throughout your life? So in case I'm not being clear about today's message is about clarity, reaching clarity in your lives in terms of goal setting. So without it, you're basically just drifting through your lives. You're just at the mercy of circumstances. For example, someone says, what do you do for a living? Well, I make widgets. Do you like making widgets? I don't know. It's okay. Well, why are you doing it? Well, it was my first job. You know, my first job when I was a kid was peeling shrimps and making egg rolls and then doing dishes in a Chinese restaurant. It was great because they paid me in food, which I really enjoyed. A little bit of money, but mostly food. But for the most part, it's not where I wanted to stay for the rest of my life. So why would you then stay somewhere that's not fulfilling to you? But if you don't know what it is you want to do, then it's pretty hard to aim towards that. Same thing is true of marriage. You know, what is a good marriage? What do you want out of marriage? If you ask someone, why do you stay in that marriage if you're not happy, then, you know, it's the same kind of question. Why are you there? What are you trying to achieve? Now, I can say I'm very lucky. If asked the same question, I can say I do what I do because I love what I do. I love being able to help people achieve goals physically and sometimes mentally and sometimes in terms of other things in their lives. Just being able to find their clarity. But for the most part, it's physical. Yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I deal in the gym. But working in the gym can then take you to other aspects of your life. It almost has to, because you have to become a stronger person to get your ass in there every day and do the job that you're supposed to do. And sometimes it's just a matter of helping them to rebuild their relationship with food. Because let's face it, we live in a time and a place where food is just it's not very good unless you want to buy organics and really be careful about everything that you buy and make all your own food, which is something that I highly agree with, and I think that it's something that I recommend to most people. Make your own. You want to go to a restaurant once in a while, that's okay, but for the most part, I make all my own food. I don't grow chickens. I prepare my own food, we'll put it that way. Now, if I want to get big, I need to choose what that means. I need to get clarity. Does that mean the sumo wrestler? Does it mean Arnold or any other pro bodybuilder? Or just to get bulkier and feel good naked? Once I have that knowledge, I also have a way of plotting a course to achieve that goal. So the importance of clarity in the goal is also in that it allows you to then set your course towards getting that goal. If I know that you want to get that kind of big, I'm going to give you a different diet and a different workout than I am if all you want to do is get really lean and ripped, and to you that means looking big because you're ripped. So there are two different mindsets there, right? And definitely a sumo wrestler consumes huge amounts of food to reach that kind of a size and strength to be able to move that size around, because You know, it takes a lot, and they are very strong guys. Or being a ballet dancer. You know, you got to think in terms of the gym is like being a dancer in many ways, because you are holding yourself to strict rules of conduct as to how you're going to achieve your goals. I don't want to make it sound like a really horrible thing, like you have to be controlled all the time, because it's not. Like everything else, there's an ebb and a flow in life, and you want to be able to achieve optimum by having the goal set, by having the mindset that's setting you there, but also to allow for the fact that reality gets in the way every once in a while and things happen. There's also time to decide whether or not to change the end goal, because very often you start to reach, like, I know a lot of guys get into the bodybuilding thing, they want to do their first competition. They do their first competition and they will not do a second competition, because the pain of the dieting and everything else preparing takes away from the joy of actually working out on a daily basis. And then there's people like me and Matthew who just want to continue with it because there's the challenge, the joy of the challenge, which is another thing to take us further in that way of going towards things. If you want something, you have to ask yourself, what does that really mean? What do I need to do to achieve that? What do I need to give up to achieve that? How hard am I going to have to work to achieve that? And I think that's the same thing with anything. You want a good relationship, what are you going to have to give up for that relationship? You're going to have to give up sleeping with a whole bunch of people if that other person wants you to be monogamous. You're going to have to give up a certain amount of autonomy, because now you're thinking with two people and what they are doing, rather than just, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, which is a lot to consider. You know, I have pictures of guys on my fridge and above my desk to motivate me. I have a lot of notes and things going on that tell me what I should be doing, when I should be doing it, and what my thoughts are, because I've got a lot of things going on in the frying pan. COVID hasn't slowed me down as much as I thought it was going to. So you can get yourself to the point where once you know what it is that you really want, once you have clarity in the goal, then you can set the path, and then it's just a matter of start your engines and go. And I think that's something that you know, the next phase is just actually to start. Don't procrastinate. Don't try and get it perfect first. Don't try and, you know, write the novel by having the novel entirely written in your mind. You will never get through it. Just put a pen on the paper and keep going. It's the same thing with bodybuilding. It's the same thing with just about anything in life. If you don't move ahead, who is it? Danielle Laporte says, every masterpiece has to end. It's never finished, but it always has to stop at a certain point. You know, maybe the Mona Lisa isn't a finished painting, but at one point, Da Vinci had to say, I've got to stop now, okay? And I'm going to put this aside. And that's the sort of thing that we have to do in our lives. So if you decide and you're daydreaming and you want something, you want to achieve something, my best advice is to look at it. What is it that you really want? What does it mean? Why do you want that? And then you can move ahead from that. So I hope this is helpful. And if it's not, let me know. You know, the DM is for that. Let us know what you're getting out of these. This is a new facet. We're both going to give little mindset rants once a week, and let us know what you think about it, okay? Have a great day. Stay cool, stay clean, wash your hands, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.